right, so this is Hard Rockology Radio. I'm here with band Victorian Sky, right?
Victorian.
Okay, so real quick, I always ask bands this. Where did the name of the band come from?
That's a while ago. We had another guitarist before he joined us. His name was Albert, and I like the Victorian style era of homes and stuff like that. So I wanted to use that as a band's name. He was like, "Why are you going for that? It's so random. It makes no sense. You might as well call it Victorian." And he looked around and said, "Sky," and that was it. And I was like, "Hey, that sounds pretty cool." He got mad. He was like, "No, I was kidding." I was like, "No, that's actually pretty cool." And it's been the name for like what, 5 years?
More than that, man.
Over 5, 6 years? Over
Yeah.
6?
I like it. It works.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Unique as fuck.
Yeah.
Unique as fuck.
So who do we have in the band? I want you everybody introduce yourself real quick.
Alex.
What
The drums.
Drums?
I play the drums.
Melissa, I sing and play guitar and keyboards.
Alex, I do the bass.
Process of elimination pretty soon.
You're right. David and Martinez, I do guitar, writing, and singing.
So we're saying the last name?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah, all right. I'm Michael
Yes, sir.
Nikiti.
The only one with the last name, right?
Yeah, I'm the lead guitarist.
So you guys all been together for how many years now?
Okay, so I guess over 6.
Yes.
Well, it's the lineage. I mean, the lineage has changed quite a bit over the times.
This configuration, maybe like about a year. It's been a year. But yeah, a year.
So the group right now in front of me only been together for a year. So who's the newest member then?
Me,
Right here?
technically.
The guitar guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why the other songs sound different.
Oh, hey.
I noticed that right off the bat. So you guys have been together for, 1 year and then 4 years. So how did you guys all meet?
The guy who came up with the name, he was part of a program called
Uh-huh.
House of Rock where he was in it, and he would play bass for a bunch of different kids. And he was like, "Hey, I know a bassist. He's really good. He looks like Kurt Cobain. He'd be perfect for a grunge band." So we're like, "All right." Called him up, pretended I was the CIA. He went along with it. So obviously we're kicking
Yeah.
it off right from the beginning. And I met him through a job where I worked teaching kids and stuff like that, the school program. Hooked up with one of his friends as a drummer. He's like, "Hey, I know this other guy. He plays guitar." We met up, jammed with him actually around the same time I met them. But this was like 5 years ago. But he just joined with us a year ago. So.
I just started college.
Yeah.
I was like,
You want to stay in school if you're a musician. But who knows? You never know, right?
Yeah.
came back.
If you got that degree.
Yeah.
You're cool. We're working
So
on it.
tell me real quick about
He's working on
the logo. It's got the one-eyed wolf. I mean, it even says something about it on your Facebook page. It says "Beware of the one-eyed wolf." So, is there a backstory behind that, or you want to just keep it the way it is and let me guess about it?
No, there's definitely a backstory. There's a backstory to like our entire album coming out.
Yeah.
The Rocket Boys in the story of Dreadnought City use the symbol of the wolf as a kind of unifying thing amongst them. They managed to escape this this other controlled world where the government, so to speak, controls everything, and they're kind of a symbol of freedom in that world. They managed to escape and became legend in this city. People slowly use the symbol of the one-eyed wolf with the Rocket Boys. Quite dangerous, formidable heroes, I think.
Interesting. So you guys are working on some music. You got the 2 songs out right now that I've heard. What's going on right now? You're working on an album, an EP? Because a lot of bands right now, they're pretty much putting out a song here, a song there. Because do people really buy records anymore, do you think? Even though I personally like a record.
Yeah,
I still buy records.
I do too. Yeah.
Albums are nice.
I think we had learned something kind of from that. We have quite a bit of our already original material, and we had been
Okay.
doing that. Recording it and then putting it up online, recording it and then putting it up online.
Okay.
And the more we were trying to think about it, we were kind of pretty stagnant. We didn't really have merchandise to sell, and we've been playing a lot of shows, but we weren't really getting gaining more fans, but not really getting at bigger venues and such. So we made the decision to let's work on another album. Let's not really release much of anything until we get it all packaged together, and then once that's all compiled, then we'll also have merchandise, shirts. We'll have these sort of recordings and stuff to press out and say, this is what we've been working on.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I go to a lot of shows, I see a lot of different bands, and if they only have like an EP, then like 5 years later they got another song. It's like, come on, where's the rest of the stuff at? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not that everybody isn't busy, and it doesn't happen overnight. Just making making a song or whatever. It takes a long time, the whole process, you know. People think like you guys just all get together right now and boom, you got a song in like 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But it takes a while. But it's interesting that you guys did it backwards. You know, usually bands put out a record and then they say, you know, no one's buying records. We'll put out a song here, a song there, and take like maybe 3 years or something to put out something else. But that's interesting. So when is this going to be done? You have all the songs written, recorded?
For an EP, it should be ready. We're pretty much thinking about it going EP route or full album route. If it's full album, we're probably got another 3 tracks to finish writing, probably 2 to write completely from scratch. But it should be coming out by summer. It's been a long process working with it because it's been about a year now and over a year working on. Well, just writing and writing and like not letting anything out, just playing them at the shows. You know, seeing how people respond to them, and so far it's pretty good feedback. And yeah, we're really proud of what we have so far. So we're excited to finish the album and then get into the studio. We'll turn it out as quick as possible, and you know, it's since we've been working on them for so long, over a year, we've got them really tight. So we're really excited.
Are you guys like doing a Kickstarter thing or something like that to get finance for it, or are you just gonna? I mean, because I know studio time isn't cheap. Right?
Well, we're fortunate that most of our resources are coming from within, like whether they're close friends or us ourselves paying for it. So it shouldn't be necessary just yet to get onto the Kickstarter program, but we're thinking about it because it's nice because it lets people know we're working on something at the same time.
Exactly. Why
and
not?
It shows who wants to support us. So we're probably going to open up that real soon. As the album gets closer to the release date, that way we can get albums, merch, stickers, all that stuff, and send it out to people because they love that. It's cool.
Yeah. Now, I know you guys have been together for a while, and before we started the interview, I talked about some of the music that you guys had on SoundCloud, I believe it is, and it's a lot different than what you guys are working on now. So, I mean, what do you think? It's a huge transition for me, at least, listening to to what you guys are doing now. I kind of like what you guys are doing now compared to the other stuff. Not saying that wasn't good, but I think, is it like more or less you guys are evolving into what you really want to become, or you just decided to go in a different
It
direction?
kind of just happens though, right? You kind of grow and your taste and your abilities to write music just kind of change. With the taste as well.
I think like we didn't have a choice because he joined up with us and he's like very knowledgeable as far as, you know, he has a degree in music, and a lot of the songs that we were playing are just stuff that I had written by myself, and then a few tunes he had written as well, and then a couple collaborative efforts. But it was definitely in one direction as far as, you know, one person's idea and then everybody expanding on that, where now it's more everybody's just dipping into the music writing and just putting in their own ideas here and there, and it shows clearly because it's coming out more complete, a little bit more complex, but also at the same time like not too much where it's still fun and simple some parts of it.
So what are some of your influences? I mean, we'll start off with Alex.
I don't know, man. I have like a pretty like eclectic taste
I'll
of
give you a
music. It's all
couple
over
of
the
it.
board. For this style of music, I think when I bonded over with like this guy, I referenced it a lot to Nirvana. At first, like all the older stuff that you might have heard, and yeah, like Queens of the Stone Age, like that type of like element, like a lot of energy. The Foos, of course, Foo Fighters.
You'll hear the Foos.
Yeah.
All through the music.
Yeah.
But then also like, I mean, I kind of try to bring some of it into it. Like I think when I kind of joined in, because like it was me, Sean, like you had a lot of dudes in this band have been more on like the progressive side. But then when this dude joined, it like really took just a whole another form.
Yeah.
Started writing more riffs.
Yeah.
More cool little progressive stuff.
Yeah, definitely picks up the slack where, you know, I'm dropping the ball because I'm very linear with my writing, very specific, and he comes in and he's just like, let's do this, and it's like, shit. So it's nice. It's nice to have different one direction.
Alyssa?
I'm also pretty all over the place. I like to draw inspiration from all different genres. I don't exclude anything to listen to. But this genre too, I think, like Foo Fighters, Queens, White Stripes a little bit for me when I was listening to it. I was a fan of this band before I joined, so I was always in the crowd. And now I play with them.
So you saying that right now, so how did that come about real quick?
I've been dating Alec for about 6 years.
Okay.
And then I would go to all their shows, and that's how we first started hanging out, was at their shows. And then I learned all the songs. And at one point, David approached me and he asked me to try out for the band because Sean just left and Michael was joining. and they wanted to add more to it, and now we have dual vocalists. Like we're both pretty much lead singing in a way, and then like I have some songs, he has songs, and we mix our vocals a lot, and it's really fun for me because I was usually screaming in the crowd.
So it's
really
a whole
fun.
different perspective now, right?
Totally.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Alec.
For inspiration, I mean, before this band, I was playing in pretty much classic rock band. That's probably where a lot of my playing growing up was. I, played some jazz tunes and that, but it was a lot of classic rock, and that's pretty much what.
Did you get tired of playing classic rock, or was it challenging in a way?
I have fun. I always have fun playing music. I think I ever, like you said, you get tired of the songs. I don't think I ever get tired of the songs. Maybe there was like one of the couple covers we had to learn for some of the shows, but.
Well, I meant like earlier I said we're tired of the songs because you're like recording them over and over again, doing the same thing over and over again, and you just want to get out there and just play it live and be done with it in a way.
I think you love something, you never really get tired of it.
Yeah, because even now when sometimes we'll be in practice and we'll kind of take it slow. We'll be working on the vocal parts, and we'll be jamming on it in the background while we're working on other parts, and say, hey, this might sound nice, and instead of getting tired of it, it might be nice to go back and maybe spend some more time with it.
I guess I use the word tired because a lot of bands, I hear so many times that they're working on stuff so long and they're just done with it. They want to move on and do something different because it takes forever for it to be released. Because you can write a song like 2 years ago, and then now it's finally coming out on a record, and you're already writing new stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's probably what I meant by the tired thing. All right, David, what's some of your influences?
Polka.
Polka?
Ranchero.
Yeah, I'm Polish. I like polka.
What's up? I like some of that comedic relief from Weird Al. Nah, I listen to a lot of stuff too. Like everything, pretty much, from like classical, rap, sometimes country, maybe. Indie. Anything, Spanish music as well, like Spanish rock and any of the the old oldies from either English or Spanish music, because I grew up in multilingual household, so I was always listening to one or the other, and pretty much anything. I'll be listening to Adam Sandler. I remember once, and that's how I wrote my first song. Listening to Adam Sandler, I was like, this is really exciting. I want to write something that sounds like this, and it came out with a song. But pretty all over the place. Foo Fighters, I gotta say that one. Foo Fighters.
Michael.
I think we all have that in common. Like we all love Foo Fighters.
Yeah, I can hear that in the music.
Definitely.
We can definitely say Foo
Fighters. Foo Fighters since I was a little kid.
90s rock.
But my influences, it's all over the place, just like everybody. But I know since I was a little kid, the three things that I would listen to a lot was like Queen, and Metallica, and then my brother introduced me to Dream Theater when I was a little kid. But I think more recently, my influences as far as like writing riffs, or writing ideas, or writing songs comes from Devin Townsend. That's my guy.
Yes.
So good. But that's it. A lot of prog in there, huh?
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of the music scene now, the way it is? I mean, people download music for free, all that stuff. I mean, what do you guys feel about that?
Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of bands put out their stuff for free.
I don't give a shit, man. If you want to listen to my music, go ahead. That's awesome.
Just come and check out the live shows.
Yeah,
that's really
well,
what.
I mean, how do you get people to go to live shows now too? Because I mean, everybody always says on Facebook that they're going. There's like this big event, but the only way you would know about any kind of event is if you're a fan of that band or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, how do you get people to go to shows? They say they're going to go, but then they don't show up, or they do show up and it's great. I mean. Is it a challenge every time?
I think that it is a challenge, and I believe that will reflect in the ability of the band. The better they get, the more tight they get, the more devotion they put to their craft. People will see that, and they will come. I just think it just takes time. A lot of the times, especially when you're a new band or you're young and people are like, yeah, they're just starting out. We'll check them out once in a while, but they don't come back because they've heard you when you were starting out. Exactly that. And then we've been around for a while, so we're starting to definitely develop a fan base to where we go to shows and there's this core group that is usually there. And also you got to make it interesting for those people coming. You know, if you're there to put on a show, if it's one person, which has been like that. We played shows for just our buddy Rhino over here, and he was the only guy there, and we performed our heart out because he was there and he was checking us out, and because of that, I'm sure he appreciated that, and he comes to the shows. Now he's part of the group, and now he's like running lights and sound. He's gonna be doing all that cool stuff, but that's one of the things we're working on for sure, is making our live shows a lot more interesting, engaging, telling the story with the Rocket Boys and the One-Eyed Wolf, get people asking questions like, what is that? What is that about? Buy the album, check it out. You know, there's stories in there, and there's stories in the music. You can interpret it in your own way and find out a little bit more of what we're all about as well.
So is that what's going to make you guys different from the other band? I mean, because there's like so many bands that I see in Los Angeles and Whiskey, and it's like the only way that I'm going to remember them is not necessarily by their music sometimes, but by their stage presence and how they're going to entertain me for whatever, a half hour, 40 minutes or whatever. Because, I mean, that's what I remember about bands, and I want to go check them out again. You know, I mean, is that what people can expect going to a Victorian Sky show? I mean, what do you guys have in store for someone who's going to go see you for the first time? What can they expect?
We want to put
Kick
Alec
in
and
the
Chippendales. Kick to the nuts.
Why not? I'll remember that. You know?
That bass player, man.
Kick to the nuts in the Chippendales outfit. Yeah, well, no.
That's that band with the Chippendale bass player.
Yeah, I think working on definitely creating this very expansive story in which they'll hear the songs, they'll see, you know, the whole show we got going on. We're looking to definitely tell a little bit more about it in visual aspects as well, like, you know, having projectors up showing parts of the story, maybe a little bit like of a graphic novel style. You know, they go over, see the album, they become interested based on just the image of the One-Eyed Wolf, or hopefully asking questions and want to know more about the Rocket Boys. Create a little bit more of an experience when they come to our shows, not just let's go watch a live band that probably practices in the garage every day and they perform at the shows and that's it. You know, no, we want them to see that we're working on other stuff as well. And
Well, I'm already interested by the logo.
sweet.
As I saw the logo and you guys are playing, I'll go, what is that about? What is that about? What is that about?
Yeah,
I gotta find out what that's about. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
absolutely. And we want
That's
to
the
create
whole
that
case.
interest. Come check out the album and find out the story of the Rocket Boys.
What's the plans for the rest of the year so far? I mean, you're got the record coming out pretty soon, right? Are all the songs pretty much done? You just got to go in and record them, or
A couple unwritten. Most everything is done, and once everything is 100% tight, we go in, record it, lay it out. You know, take our time with it, make sure that comes out by summer, and then for the rest of the year, play.
Get out
And then get that out
Well,
of the
your
way.
buddy David Grohl said that, right? He said the best way to be a great musician is get out there and play as
Just-
much as you can and
Yup.
work on the stage presence and all that stuff. Because you said you were in the Queen earlier and stuff. You go back and watch old videos of the Queen and stuff.
Fucking show, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I can't I can't emphasize that enough for bands. Is that's part of the process.
Yeah.
You're playing live. It's got to be a show. It's like I can go up and stand in my street clothes and just sing a song and say, "Hey, this is the greatest song ever," but I don't remember it. You know what I mean? But if it's a great show and stuff, then I'm gonna come back and check it out,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna go tell somebody else,
Right.
and they're gonna go check it out with me. And then you'll have 2 people, and then 3, and then 10, and then 20.
And then we move
You
on.
know, so we're gonna record the album and then just play a bunch of local dates. Or you guys trying to?
Basically set up local dates and then try to expand down to San Diego, try to go as far north as we can, as close to San Francisco, and just spread it all over the place. Maybe get over to Arizona, make that epidemic go out over there, and then just try to get the word out, you know, because I know that if we keep practicing at this and keep working at it, that people will start to notice and they'll start to, you know, enjoy what we have, and we hope a lot of people can listen to the story that we have written, because we've been working on it a long time, and it's a lot of work, and it's not as easy as people think, but
It's
we're
not
really
all.
proud of it.
It's not all partying and stuff.
No,
and just
that's
hanging
like
out.
the least thing you should be
It
doing.
is.
It's the
It
last
is.
thing.
It is. It's-
And once you're all solid and set up, party after. You good.
yeah.
Yeah, usually, I can't remember the last time we've been to a party where we're not working.
I know, we're usually working parties. Yeah.
And that's a lot of work too. Taking the stuff, loading it up, unloading it
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
man.
People think you just
Yup.
show up and your stuff's on stage and everything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Someone's got to move it.
A lot of the shows we do, we bring the whole lighting rig, the whole sound rig too.
We had a show where we got hired for a party. This guy's like, it's a graduation party, and we ton of people there. And we get there, there was a ton of people. We spent like a good hour, the hour and a half setting up because this is our first time setting everything really good. And we got set up. We played our first song, and before the second song was even like halfway through, the cop showed up. So we probably about 7 minutes for an hour and a half setup. He's like, you guys play another note, we're taking everything, so we had to shut down. But that's the struggle. It happens sometimes, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's worth it, everything.
Where can people find out about the band? You guys got a website? You're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
Yeah, the website's in the works. That'll be coming out when the album comes out. It'll all kind of be, or probably just a little bit beforehand. But we do have Facebook.com/Victorian Sky. We have Instagram. We have @Victorian Sky. You could check out some clips of our shows, or we post when we're playing up next there and on Facebook. And we have SoundCloud.com/Victorian Sky, or you could just shoot us an email at VictorianSkyOfficial@gmail.com. Questions when stuff's coming out. We do have an email list, so if you wanted to sign up for that, we're basically keeping people up to date when the album's going to come out, the release party, any merch that will be available ahead of time. But as well as a couple, I believe anybody who signs up for the email list, we're going to have like a couple of tracks released beforehand, and it'll be like free. It'll be right in the email on the date that about a week before we release everything. But yeah, we do have a couple places to check us out.
Okay, cool. So most likely just go to Facebook. That's pretty much
Facebook,
Yeah,
or
we keep it
Google
updated.
it, Victorian Sky, Google it, do that. Just do that. That works
Instagram's
pretty well.
Good. Go
Instagram.
watch those small little clips. They're pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And
YouTube,
Instagram's
Victorian
a good
Sky.
place.
Just search it. It
Okay.
comes up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, looking forward to hearing some new music from Victorian Sky. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
We had a good time, for
All
sure.
right.
Don't let me slow you down. I've been seeing you around, walking around my town. Don't let me slow you down. I see you bleeding.